Alright boys, my name's TheShork and today we're going to be taking a break from Rainbow Six Siege and Destiny 2 to talk about an up and coming game called Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Now, as a lot of you guys probably know, the open beta was last weekend and I got a chance to play it on both console and PC, and I'm here to give you guys my insight on both. Before we dip into how it plays on both console and PC, I'm also going to go over the pros and cons of this game. One of the pros is the game doesn't follow the traditional 3-lane map layout like every other Call of Duty. Like usually, it's just 3 lanes you can go to the left or to the right or just straight down the middle. Call of Duty Modern Warfare and the maps that they let us play, it followed that to a point, whereas there was high ground that you could take, there was low ground that you could go through, there was just a lot more avenues. So you could run down the middle lane and take a left somewhere and end up in the left lane, which I know has been done in other Call of Duty games, but with Modern Warfare, they expand upon it a lot more. Alright, now the next big thing is the weapon progression, as in you will unlock the ACOG or a certain side at level 3 for this gun. Now this to me felt incredibly rewarding, just because I would use a gun that I really liked and I was like, well, I really like this, but I don't really have too many attachments for it. And what it did in the beta, I'm not sure if they're going to do this in the actual game, but whenever you unlock a weapon, you go into create a class, you're creating it, and all you see is just a few attachments. Now the rumor I heard, or I don't know if it's a rumor or not, but what I heard was that guns would have anywhere from 30 to 40 attachments, or 30 to 60 attachments. Now I gotta say, I was extremely surprised whenever I got that gun to level 25, thinking that the max level was gonna be level 9 whenever that was the last attachment I could see. But then as soon as I got past level 9, so many more attachments showing up. There was new sights, new grips, new stocks, and so on and so forth. And that felt really rewarding to me, since it made the weapon that I essentially dedicated a lot of my time to even better. And I enjoyed that so much. Which brings me to my next point. The guns have a lot more attachments. Like I said, with the weapon progression, got to a certain level and then bam, all of a sudden I had a bunch of new attachments that I had to use the gun more, level it up, unlock, then I could try out. I'm not sure if anybody else felt this, but I kind of got a feel of Battlefield coming from it, but still had that Call of Duty charm, whereas it was fast paced. No matter where you spawned at, you didn't have to run a mile and a half to get into a gunfight. But I just felt like it was a little more of a tactical game. Like you could post up somewhere and mount your gun onto it, or you could just full-blown rush in and try your best. Another pro that I really enjoyed was just because if you're somebody that doesn't have a lot of time to play, you get off work, you play like 3-4 games, and by that time you've leveled up. Like, well, I really want to use this new weapon that I got or this new attachment that I got, but I won't be able to use it till tomorrow after work. You're able to change your class mid-game, which I thought is a great addition to the Call of Duty games. Just because you're getting a lot of new things thrown at you as you level up to the max level, then you prestige, and so on and so forth. But you get a lot of new things thrown at you just because it's a completely new Call of Duty, new weapons, new attachments. But how it worked was you're able to go into your pick a class menu, then you're able to scroll down or scroll up to your class, and right to the right of it, it says edit. And click edit, then you can change up the attachments. Or you can change the gun completely. You can change it from, oh, well, I don't really like this sniper, I'm going to change it to a shotgun, see how I like shotguns. With that being said, the only drawback to it is it's nothing like the perk army, or one-man army, or army of one, or whatever it was called. I think it was in Modern Warfare 2, where you could literally just change your fucking class immediately, mid-game, no matter what. Like, you could be standing there shooting at somebody, then they're like, well, they're a good distance away, switch, sniper, shoot him, switch back again. In my experience, I don't know if it's 100% true, but say I died and I was like, well, I don't like the sight on this gun. So I go edit the class, and then by the time I respawned, the sight would be changed. But something that I also think that you can do, like I said, not 100% on this, but you can respawn while you're still changing up that class after you died, and then since you haven't moved, it'll go ahead and change the gun for you. Like, you could be rocking a red dot sight, then whenever you're changing up your class, you respawn while you're mid-changing it, and then you could have the ACOG sight on it, or whatever sight you picked. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I got the chance to play this on Xbox and PC, so most of these cons come from me playing on an Xbox, since I'm not used to playing on Xbox anymore, since I've pretty much mainly switched to PC. Okay, so the first one is the gunplay is not as forgiving, meaning you can't miss a few shots and then still kill that person. the likelihood is that they're going to kill you. Granted, there are those exceptions if you're a good player, or if they just happen to be bad but then get the jump on you, and so on and so forth. In my limited experience in core, since all I did in Black Ops 4 was play hardcore, since I like hardcore more, and I'll probably end up playing that too in Modern Warfare. But in my experience in core with Call of Duty Black Ops 4, you could initiate a gunfight, land a couple good shots on the guy, they could go into cover, heal up, come around the corner, and then kill you, even though they hit no bullets on you besides like the last 3, and then that was enough to kill you. Now this one I noticed on both Xbox and PC, just in the beginning of me playing on PC, but I was able to overcome it fairly quickly, but on Xbox, not as much. The guns are harder to use just due to the recoil, because the recoil in this game compared to me playing Black Ops 4, it's a lot more heavier, as in guns have different recoil patterns. And to somebody that hasn't played a Call of Duty game in a while, that's a little more like, whoa, I thought that there was going to be no recoil and I could just go pop, 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 and then they're dead. If you're used to playing on Xbox, you'll probably get over it within your first 5, 10, 15 levels. Because that's what it was like for me on PC. I didn't quite reach the max level. I think the max level at the time was 30 or something. But I did get to level, I think, 26 or 24 or something like that. But within the first, by the time I was able to create a class, I was able to control the recoil well enough to where the game was enjoyable and I was actually having fun. I was getting kills. Alright, so this brings us to the next point that I want to make, and that is how the game performs on both Xbox versus PC, or console versus PC, I guess is a better term to use. To me, it just basically means preference. If you've been playing on Xbox for the past year and a half, or you've been playing on Xbox for all your life, of course get the game on Xbox. You're going to be a lot more used to the controls. But coming from somebody that plays on Xbox and PC, or used to play on Xbox and now plays mainly on PC for probably a couple months now, but on PC, to me, the movement and controls felt a lot more fluid. And that was with me changing no keybinds besides changing crouch to control and prone to seat. But like I said earlier, if you guys have been playing on Xbox for the past month or couple months or even your entire life, get the game on Xbox. Alright, but now my general review of this game is I'm going to say it's probably going to be one of the best Call of Duties in a very long time. In my personal opinion, I think that this is going to be probably one of the better Call of Duties that we've had in a long time, if not the best. Because it's kind of a new take on it, I see it as. It's a little more tactical. It's all boots on the ground too, which World War II or whatever that Call of Duty was called, it was all boots on the ground. But to me it just felt like the same thing over and over and over again. Call of Duty Black Ops 4, it was mostly boots on the ground, but I'm pretty sure there was a few operators that could do shit to jump up into the air or to go flying around. But with this game, it's all boots on the ground. And it's amazing. I'm not saying that's the new take, it's just a new take because I feel like it's almost more strategic. They've added a bunch of new features. I think it's called like a tactical sprint, where you hit shift or you hit the sprint button twice and you go a lot faster for a few seconds. And they also added doors, so you can close doors, set a claymore behind it, somebody busts in, then bam, they explode. And the doors are actually pretty interesting because you can also run into them, then they just burst open. But I digress. But they've added a lot of new features like that into this game, into multiplayer. But general review, I think it's going to be one of the better Call of Duties, if not the best, that they've released. And I'm actually super excited for it whenever it comes out. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video today. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys want to see more review type stuff for different games that are coming out. But make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.